let's just right click to expand it and let's choose object selection. And now let's just go near this person with red jacket, and now let's just click and drag and let's make sure that this whole person is covered. Let's release, and this way we have quickly made a selection. But it's really hard to see what we have actually selected. Let's zoom in. And here you can see this little line that goes along this red jacket. So this is the selection line, but still it is hard to see. And one easy way to quickly check what you have selected is to hit letter Q. And this way you will enter into the quick mask mode, and everything that is in red is not selected and everything that is visible is selected. So as you can see, the person is selected, and we as well have selected some additional areas around the hands and between the legs. And later on I'll show you how we can remove those parts. And now let's continue selecting the foreground. We still need to select the ground.
Okay, let's set back to visibility back so that we can see all of the objects, and let's check out what we have done so far. So as you can see, the photo with the mountains is slightly moving upwards, and we have created this parallax effect. So congratulations, dear watcher, dear YouTube fan. Okay, and I have created another presentation. I was just testing some things out, and I think I'll show it to you, because maybe you'll get some more ideas or some inspiration for your own projects. So this is parallax effect in action as well. Just added some random text and a few photos just to see how it might look like with the parallax. So I think it's pretty cool as well. So I hope that you have found this tutorial not too complex, and if you have any questions, just write in the comment section below and I'll do my best to answer your questions. And please like, comment and share, and I wish you all of the best in your future PowerPoint projects. Good luck, and see you on my next video.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's your man One Skill, constantly pushing the limits of what is possible in PowerPoint. Today's video is all about 3D Morph Parallax. Oh yes, I said it right, 3D Morph Parallax. Let's start with a simple example. Imagine that you have a couple of coffee beans. So what we have to do is we have to break apart those coffee beans into single coffee beans. So you can do that with the help of crop tool. So let me demonstrate to you how you can crop out single coffee beans. And after you have cropped out one coffee bean, you can duplicate it, you can click on crop, and you can select a different coffee bean. This way you can crop out as many coffee beans as you want. Okay, so 5 coffee beans will be enough. And now we will create this last layer with the smallest coffee beans. So let's select all of the coffee beans and let's resize them so they look pretty small. And now we can randomly position all of the coffee beans onto the slide. And make sure that you add some coffee beans on the right side of your slide. Okay, so now after we are done with our small coffee beans, let's group them into a layer, and now let's continue with the medium-sized coffee beans. So again, place them onto the slide and add some more coffee beans on the right side of the slide. Okay, and after you are finished with the medium-sized coffee beans, group them into a layer. And let's actually make the small coffee beans layer a little bit bigger, longer. And now we can continue with the biggest coffee beans. See that we have created 3 layers of coffee beans of different sizes, small, medium, and the biggest coffee beans. And for these biggest coffee beans, we can add a blur effect. All you have to do is go to Artistic Effects and find a blur effect. You can adjust the radius of the blur effect. You can make it 55, or we can leave it the default value 10. And let's apply the same blur effect to all of our big coffee beans. This blur effect will really give the impression that these big coffee beans are really close to us, and it will help to create that 3D effect. And now let's just put all of these 3 layers back onto the slide. Just make sure that the biggest coffee beans are on top of all of the rest coffee bean layers.
You're doing wonderful progress, my friends. Display tab is ready, and now let's copy all of these guys and let's paste them into the last slide, slide number 5. And once again, let's move this text box to the right side. Let's reset the rotation of this little arrow. Let's grab all of these cooling shapes. Let's bring them upwards. Once again, let me copy some text from my previous slide, and let's just rotate that arrow as well. Alright, my friends, all of the text boxes are ready on all of the slides, and let's check it out on the full screen and let's see if everything is still working as before. So it looks like that all of the links are working just fine, and we have all of the information that we need in all of those tabs. Super duper awesome, and as you can see, we now have to start working with those photos on the right side. So let's just jump to slide number 1, let's zoom out and let's just select all of these 5 photos. You can hold down the shift key to select multiple photos at the same time. And now let's jump to slide number 2 and let's paste all of those beautiful photos right here. Just let's make sure we send them to back so that we can see all of the text. And now let's just move all of those photos upwards so that now we can see the second photo in the slide window. Just like that. And for this first photo, let's just move it halfway downwards, just like that. This way we will make that beautiful vertical parallax effect. Alright? And now let's select all of these photos on slide number 2 and let's paste them into slide number 3. And now once again, let's make sure that we send all of those photos to back, and you can hold down the shift key to drag these photos in a straight line upwards so that we can see the third photo in the slide window. And once again, for these photos at the top, let's make sure that we bring them halfway downwards to make sure that we'll get that beautiful vertical parallax scroll. So let's just keep on going and let's just paste all of those photos from slide number 3 to slide number 4. Let's just make sure we send them to back and let's move them 1 photo upwards, just like that. And let's just grab those 3 photos at the top and let's bring them halfway downwards, just like that. Okay, and let's repeat the same procedure for the last slide, slide number 5. And I'll catch you in a second. Alright, my friends, all of the slides are ready, all of the hyperlinks are in place, all of the photos are in place, and now we should just basically enjoy the final result. So let's go to slide number 1 and let's hit that slideshow button. Congratulations, my friends, now you know how you can create this beautiful PowerPoint Morph animation accordion navigation. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe so that you don't miss my future videos. Thank you so much. Additionally, I want to say super huge thanks to all of my supporters on Patreon and to all of my students on Udemy and Skillshare. Because of all of you, I can keep on doing what I love, creating the best PowerPoint tutorials that I can. Thank you for watching, stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll see you on my next video. Hello ladies and gentlemen, in today's video I'll show you how you can turn this photo into a 3D scene. First of all, we'll create 3 separate layers, mountains in the background, mountains on the left side, and this person in the foreground. So we should basically have 3 layers stacked on top of each other. And after that we'll use grow shrink animations in PowerPoint to create this awesome 3D parallax scene with some flying text. It's going to be a fun one, so let's get started. And before we jump into the action, my dear friends, I would like to share with you the inspiration for today's tutorial, and it is a YouTube video where a single photo was converted into a 3D scene using After Effects. And after watching this video, I started thinking if we could create something similar using PowerPoint. And we will definitely find it out in this tutorial. So once again, well done MDMZ, link to his video is in the video description. And now let's continue with our tutorial. So the first step is to find a beautiful photo that we could convert into 3D. And here on Unsplash.com I have collected a little album of photos that are suitable to converting into 3D. Alright, so link is in the video description as well if you'd like to check out these photos. By the way, I have inserted the same photo that MDMZ has used. Alright, if you'd like to use that. But for this tutorial, I think we could use this photo of snowy mountains provided by Joshua Earl. Thank you very much. And this photo suits us very well because it has a foreground with this person, it has a middle ground with these mountains on the left side, and it has a background with mountains as well. And all of this will be really helpful when we'll be selecting and animating the different parts of the image. And now let's make sure that we download the highest resolution possible. Once again, thank you Joshua for making this awesome photo and sharing it on Unsplash.com. Alright, and next we'll have to cut out or isolate the different parts of this image, and for this purpose I'll be using Photopea, the free online photo editor. And now let's just select the Unsplash photo and let's drop it into Photopea. And by the way, if you are good at using Photoshop, GIMP, Photopea or any other photo editor, and if you know how to make selections inside of photos, then of course feel free to jump to the animations part. You will find the timestamps in the video description. And for those of you who would like to learn more about working with Photopea, I'm more than happy to share my tips. Alright, so first of all, I think we can crop down this photo to 16 by 9 so that later on we won't have to do that in PowerPoint. And for that we'll be using the crop tool. Here it is on the left side, let's click it. And now let's go to this little drop down menu and let's choose fixed ratio. Alright, and for the width let's choose, let's insert 16, and for the height let's use 9. And let's double click this little check mark to apply the changes. Super duper awesome. Alright my friends, so the photo has been cropped. Let's select the move tool. Okay. And now I think we can adjust this image a little bit, so let's go to image adjustments and let's add a little bit of contrast. We can use this little slider and add as much of contrast as we wish. I think 40 looks good. Alright, and I think we could add a little bit of saturation as well, so let's go to image adjustments, hue saturation, and for the saturation slider let's add something subtle, for example 5, and let's click OK. Okie dokie. And by the way, if you'd like to quickly zoom into any part of your photo, you can select the zoom tool or just hit letter Z on your keyboard, click and drag to the right side to zoom and drag to the left side to zoom out. So that's really useful shortcut. And if you hold down the space bar, you can just grab your photo and move it around just like that. That's really useful as well. And one more shortcut that I'll be using quite often during this tutorial is Ctrl-0. That will fit our photo inside of the window, just like that. Alright my dear friends, so let's finally create some selections and let's select our beautiful foreground. So let's go to this tool called Magic Wand. Let's just right click to expand it and let's choose Object Selection. And now let's just go near this person with red jacket. And now let's just click and drag and let's make sure that this whole person is covered. Let's release, and this way we have quickly made a selection. But it's really hard to see what we have actually selected. Let's zoom in. And here you can see this little line that goes along this red jacket. So this is the selection line, but still it is hard to see. And one easy way to quickly check what you have selected is to hit letter Q. And this way you will enter into the quick mask mode and everything that is in red is not selected and everything that is visible is selected. So as you can see, the person is selected and we as well have selected some additional areas around the hands and between the legs. And later on I'll show you how we can remove those parts. And now let's continue selecting the foreground. We still need to select the ground.